Welcome to the Marketing Revolution Podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's happening, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution Podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group. I'm going to kind of let you guys know what I'm up to today, and I am making a massive commitment from this point moving forward. So I'm going to need you guys to hold me to this. Not that I need an accountability partner, and actually I probably do need an accountability partner. But one of the best forms of accountability is telling people that you're going to do some shit, because if you don't do it, then everybody will know. And so that's what I'm doing here today. I'm letting you guys know that I am starting a daily podcast now for the Marketing Revolution Podcast. However, I'm also shooting a video every day that I'm going to be putting on Facebook. I'm going to be adding a video to Facebook every day. I'm also going to be taking this video and adding it to YouTube. I'm going to be doing several other things as well. In fact, I'm going to be transcribing it and creating a blog post out of it on a daily basis. And we're also going to be obviously using the audio for a podcast. That being said, guys, that's exactly what I want to talk about today. I want to talk a little bit about, pillar content and exactly what that is. In fact, I've actually got all of my other businesses. So many of you guys know that I'm getting ready to launch a book. I'm getting ready to launch a subscription website to teach you how to do marketing. We're getting ready to launch another website building service for just the general public. And between all of that, it's all a new business to me. So I've actually done a lot of this for all of our other businesses when it comes to the tool company, when it comes to, denttrainer.com, when it comes to all of our media services are pretty much set up on autopilot when it comes to the advertising and, the day-to-day work and stuff like that. So that being said, building something new, y'all, and that starts with pillar content. And this is something different, definitely something different than I've done in the past, and I'm going to give you kind of some of my reasoning behind this. So literally, I am committed. 365 days from now, I'm going to continue doing this. In fact, I think it's going to be so successful that I'll never stop doing that. And that's going to be a daily video. It's going to be a daily podcast. I don't know how many blogs I'm going to get out of them, at least 2 or 3 of them per week at the minimum. But what I'm doing is I'm taking a big piece of pillar content and I'm going to be cutting it up into little fractions, little pieces of content. And I'm telling you guys, this works in just about every business, okay? So I'll give you guys an example for our automotive business. What we would do, we would actually take a piece of pillar content, would be an actual full repair on a vehicle. Now, I would actually put that behind a paywall. I would put the full repair of a vehicle in denttrainer.com so people could actually subscribe and watch it and learn how to do the full-on repair. But we would actually take that piece of pillar content, or let's just say the long format content, the big video, the long piece. And we would take that and we would break it up into trailers. So we would actually cut it up and break it up into trailers. And then on top of that, we could cut it up and break it up into before and after videos for my company. I would actually format it to not only use it for denttrainer.com, but I would use it for our Dent Magic business and cut it up and do before and after videos. And I would put it into, there's several different apps that you can use that you can actually do before and afters where you can actually have the camera moving above and below it. So it's almost like 2 frames. In fact, one of these days I'll do a post and I'll talk about all the different apps that I use and things like that. But you can actually take one long piece of content and cut it into, I would go as far to say some people's businesses, you could actually take one long piece of content and cut it into maybe a month's worth of content. Literally tiny video after tiny video, before and after photos. No matter what you do, there's going to be some sort of, not no matter what you do, but in most circumstances, there's going to be before and after videos if you're in a service-based business. I recommend utilizing that. And I don't care, even if you're, I'll give you another example. My friend Wasfi, and some of you guys have listened to me and Wasfi on the podcast. Wasfi actually is shooting a show. So he's actually doing flips here in Dayton. But what he's shooting an ongoing TV show documenting the process. And while he's documenting that process, people are like literally seeing this house come together. And I mean, he had that thing on the market for like a week, and I want to say that it's already sold. People walked with him through the process. They built that home together with him. It's huge to be able to do this. And a lot of times, guys, most people will make the mistake of thinking that you got to come up with some sort of original content on a daily basis. A lot of times, no, actually, in fact, I'm not going to say a lot of times, all of the time, you can actually document what you're doing, document what you're creating, and document what you're building on a daily basis. And ideally, that's what this podcast is about. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't figure out, that I don't understand it at something at a higher level, that I can't document and actually deliver to you guys on a daily message. And ideally, that's my message to you. I mean, the reason why I like video, again, is because you can turn it into so many different things. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys use Rev for transcription. It's called REV. They've got an app, but they also got an online, a website that you can upload, whether it's video or whether it's audio content. And they will literally, it's so good. They will like transcribe that whole video, and it's cheap. You can actually take that and read through it. And literally, I can have my guys go through it in 10 minutes and create a blog post. Give you another example of where this, the market positioning and a lot of this stuff is just massive. It's huge. And I'll give you an example. The other day I was looking for somebody to, I'm thinking about wrapping one of my cars and putting almost like a matte black wrap over it. And I'm going to do like some Marketing Savage stuff that's kind of subtle. So I go looking for somebody to put wraps on the vehicle, and I go scrolling through this guy's website, and I noticed that he's part of a podcast, right? Well, at first glance, his marketing was good because I thought that this was his podcast. And then I seen that he had good reviews, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, man, that's the guy that I want to do business with, man. If he's like committed enough to have a podcast, he must be pretty good. Well, I called him up. I talked to him a little bit, kind of got like a rough quote on what it would cost to do it. Time frame, stuff like that. And when I was talking to him, I'm like, so dude, you do like a podcast or something? And he's like, oh, no. I was like featured on a rap podcast. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, even that, you know what I mean? Even that, one of his peers were able to reach out and feature him on a podcast. Huge market positioning. That puts him ahead of all the other websites that I looked at, like immediately. So that's just what I want to drive home. I mean, imagine if that guy had pillar content and he had smaller content. I mean, it would even made it much more compelling to do business with that individual. So guys, these are going to be kind of like small little podcasts. However, again, if you guys have not jumped on and joined on the Marketing Savage group, you're definitely going to want to be a part of that. We're in there talking where people are asking questions. I do a Marketing Savage of the week. So it's a Marketing Savage. That's our group. And so anyhow, guys, that's all I have to bring to you today. I'm committing to 100 episodes of the Marketing Revolution podcast, and we'll see how it goes from there.